On today's podcast, we are talking about finances in relationships. Welcome back to another Mixed and Married podcast.
So we were asked about how we do finances in our marriage because people are having a lot of issues with, financial hardships in relationships.
Yeah. Putting those two together seems like a very hard task for a lot of people. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to touch a little bit on our finances and as far as how we do our finances in our marriage. Maybe you guys can pick up some tips if maybe you're struggling or something like that. So that's what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah, because it was pretty easy for us to begin with. We started, as soon as we figured out that we were going to be really serious, we opened up a checking account in both of our names.
Yeah.
We still both had our individual accounts because we were living out of state. That way, if she needed some money, extra money or whatever, that way we were both covered. We could both cover each other. If she needed some little help or I needed a little help, either way, we had a shared account that we could help each other. Even
when we were, most of you guys know, if you've started from the beginning watching our podcast, you have heard how we met, all those things, but we lived in different states. When we really got serious, that's when we actually decided to open up an account. Because he was still living in Texas and I was still living in Denver, but we had already started to put our finances together, okay? Because we were building to get ready to start our real life for when I came back to Texas. That's how we started off on our relationship. But remember, you guys, for those of you who don't know, we have been knowing each other for 30 years. So it's not like we just met, any of that kind of thing. We knew each other. We what word am I looking for?
We already had that trust. And we had already set our goals on what we were wanting to accomplish together as a couple.
Yeah.
We already knew we were going to get married, so we'd already set our goals and stuff for what we wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. So for some people, it's a very hard task to the point where people are breaking up over finances. To somebody like me and him, we find that
very
just
strange.
Yeah. My thing is when you love somebody, when you truly love somebody, there's nothing that I will leave out from telling him, talking to him about. I'm an open book to him and vice versa. Finances is not, we don't have not one problem with our finances, you guys.
We never have.
Yeah.
We know, when we want something, and if it's like something major, we're definitely going to discuss
purchase.
it.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to discuss. Even before that, before we got married, we would discuss it.
Yeah, cars, and we're talking about cars and stuff like that. Yeah, of course,
big purchases. That way that could set us back from what we would, like I said, we was already wanting our goals to be.
Yeah,
but we had already knew that we wanted to get a house. We knew we wanted to travel. One of us was going to end up moving either all into Colorado or all into Texas. We knew we had some big things to do. There was no way to spend big chunks of money and not put a dent in what we wanted to do.
So we're not talking about going buy some pizza or stuff like that. We're talking about big giant purchases. And
then too is just respect.
Yeah.
It's respect for your significant other.
Yeah.
It's not asking for permission. It's just being out of respect.
Yeah.
You tell the person, hey, look, I spent such and such, or oh, do you think it'd be okay if I do this? Or not, and it's like I said, it's not asking for permission. It's just out of respect. It's out of mutual respect for your goals and your relationship.
Yeah. And of course we know that everybody has their own relationship and some people don't want to share money. Some people want their own money. For us, it's easier. It's easier just to put our money together. And then we have separate accounts where we get money, a little budget, and we do whatever we want to do with it. That's how we work. We never have to worry about bills, who's paying the bills, because a lot of couples do the 50-50 or whatever percentage you guys do.
That's something I'll never understand.
Yeah,
because I
don't understand it either.
You got two people doing bills. To me, we're married. When we're married, our bills are our bills.
Yeah.
It's not I don't have a bill here and she has a bill there. Our bills are our bills.
Yeah.
So our money should be our money. That's what pays all the bills. And if you get two people doing bills,
it's crazy.
You're going to end up doubling up on something. Something's not going to get paid because the other person thought they was going to pay it.
Yeah.
So
and to piggyback off of what he said, it's our bills. That means any bills that I had prior to coming into this relationship, same thing for him, they become our bills. These are things we sat down and talked about. I think the number one problem people have is they don't talk about these things prior to getting serious. Mm-hmm. They are all in that phase of I love you, all that kind of stuff.
They're not fully, they don't fully tell it the whole story. Where,
yeah.
By the way, I owe
the IRS.
Or stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's what I am saying, you guys. So whatever little bills I had, it became his bills. And he was willing to accept that, vice versa, whatever it was.
Yeah, because when I accepted you, I accepted all of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just pick and choose what part of the person you want. I'm going to accept our relationship, but I'm not going to accept your bills.
Yeah. If you're ready to get serious. If you're not, you just hold off if that's what you're going to do. Yep. But when it comes to bills, we did not choose to go into our relationship saying, okay, you got your bills and I got my bill. I just am not doing that. So
it makes it way too hard on both people.
Yeah.
One person's paying the bills. They know everything that's covered.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about something getting skipped because you're thinking somebody else paid it.
That's the way we do bills, and it works for us. We have had people tell us, like, they're married, they go out to eat, and this person's paying for something, and this person's paying for something.
It's your turn to pay.
And that's weird to us because you are married. Mm-hmm. You are married. In my opinion, if that's not where you guys are, you are not really totally committed to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people have been burned in the past,
and
as far as financially, so they don't have the trust when it comes to their finances, and then people get scared. I mean, they're just scared. If you're paying bills, and then all of a sudden you're used to paying all the bills, and then you're in a relationship. Here it goes. Something doesn't get paid, and you're like freaking out because you're used to paying bills on time all the time.
You were supposed to pay it. Oh no, you were supposed to pay it. It was your time, and that leads back. No matter how you twist it, it leads back to you don't fully trust that person. Yep. That's how we feel.
And then it can cause even more trust issues.
Yeah, that's why a lot of marriages break up over finances. Mm-hmm. When we try to really drive that point home a lot when we're talking to other couples, younger couples, that's why a lot of people literally divorce over finances because they don't do it right from the beginning. They go into the relationship separated, basically. Even though you're married, you really go into the relationship separated as far as finances go.
It's funny because I still know a lot of people that have been married for years.
I do too.
That still separate their finances.
Too.
And to me,
it's like,
just
you pay for this dinner.
Wild. Yeah.
You pay for this dinner.
It's my turn. It's your turn to pay. Or,
so weird to us. So weird.
She didn't pay her car payment this month. Yeah. Wait a minute. Y'all are married. How's that not y'all's car payment?
Yeah. So, just things like that. So it's just, for us, we are happy. I trust this man wholeheartedly, y'all. So I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about my finance. Honestly, we don't even worry about money. No. We do not worry about money because bills are paid, all our bills. I personally do the finances in our relationship, but I do have a book. I'm old school. I write everything down. Yeah. So if he needs it, if something happens to me or whatever the case may be, he has a book. He just opens it up and he can take it from there.
Yeah, I can figure it all
out. Yeah. And that's how I have it, you guys. I have it set up that way.
It also helps that I'm pretty simple as far as I don't have to, hey, I need to buy this and buy that, and I don't spend a whole lot of money. So.
And if it gets to a point where stuff starts getting turned off, that's a different story. But that has never been the case. Honestly, you guys, if you are a good woman, to be honest, especially when you're doing finances, you can take $1 and turn it into 10.
Right.
So, and stretching it. So that's kind of how we work. We've been that way. We've been together, you guys, almost 14 years for us in a committed relationship.
Yeah, we've never had any financial issues.
Never.
We never had any financial.
We arguing about me leaving the cabinets open. Okay.
Right, yeah, we argue about stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It's not. The finances. that'll kill a marriage or a relationship.
And it has killed
Yeah.
marriages. It definitely has.
Definitely.
And that's, like I say, you guys, we wanted to really give you guys some tips on how to navigate through that. One, you have to ask yourself, do I trust my significant other? You know,
communicating
yeah.
and trust.
Yeah.
That right there is going to go a long way, especially when it comes to finances.
Yeah. And do that based off of what your partner's needs are. If you don't know that, again, back to communicating. What are their needs? Are they that type of person where they want to know, hey, you went and put some gas in the car, whatever the case may be. For us, we have a set amount of...
We got a budget on
on everything.
How much we spend on gas per month, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much we spend on groceries.
Yeah.
We got a grocery budget, so...
And talk about that. Talk about groceries. I don't grocery shop because I will go over budget.
Right.
You have to understand who's better at what. He's better at buying groceries. I am not. I will go in there and start picking up things that's not even on the list.
Get added groceries.
And then I will be over budget. So we know, don't let me go in the store unless I have to.
Exactly.
But and I'll pretty much go over budget still. That's what we do, because I know he can go in the store and he'll get exactly what's on the list, and he'll come out the store in probably 10-15 minutes, where I will stay in there for 2 hours.
But I think if people would communicate, like we say all the time, if people could really communicate to each other and say, hey, look, really sit down.
Yeah.
This is what I like to spend money on, you know, once or twice a week. I like to buy pizza, or I like to buy, you know, go get drinks at a store, or whatever you may like to indulge in. You know, as long as you lay that out there and y'all agree, I mean, it's already known. I think it makes it way easier financially. Yeah. So that way, okay, hey, we can step back this amount of money for you, you know, for your little.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to communicating.
Yes.
Communication is key, you guys. We say that about everything. When people ask us what our number one strength is in our relationship, it is our communication.
Yeah, we don't always do it well. I mean,
but
you know, we end up making it work out. But there's times that we don't, you know, we have a little trouble communicating. Yeah. But I mean,
but that's something that we strive towards. To me, if you're not really ready to be a wife
or a husband,
don't do it, you guys. I mean, don't do it. If you are just in it for, hey, because you're lonely, hey, because I just want to say for the sake of saying you're married, don't do it.
I think, because if you go into it and you're not willing to give your whole self, which your whole self includes your finances. Yeah. It includes your finances. Yeah. You got to give everything to that one person. Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah. You know, it's got to be reciprocal. It can't be a one-way street. Yeah. You know, you have to both give 100%. There's no 50-50. It's a 100-100.
Yeah, true.
It has to be that way.
Yeah.
If you really want to make it work. If you don't, it's going to leave that little part out there that can be like, well, how come, you know, you're keeping that from me? Yeah. You're not giving me that part.
And then it makes you wonder, what else are they keeping from me?
Right.
So you have to think about everything. Again, if you're not really ready to be in a marriage, don't do it. Most people, I'm not going to say most people want to be with somebody. But I always say there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Exactly. I always say that.
Big time difference.
So, yeah.
Like when it comes to big investments or big purchases, we'll discuss everything.
You know, I'm not going to go out there and just get a car. I may want a certain car. Jason may say to me, hey, you know, that's probably a little bit too steep, because when you do the car note and then you do the insurance based off of what type of car it is. So for me, if we were in situations like that, he puts things into perspective for me to understand.
It's easier to bounce ideas off of each other. I mean, so, you know, for one person to just make all the decisions like that, it doesn't really make any sense to, you know, for one person just to make all those kind of decisions, especially if you're both contributing to the finances. And we're speaking from a marriage standpoint.
Yes,
you know,
that's another thing.
Yeah, this is strictly from our marriage.
Yeah, and we're probably more or less talking about marriages. Yeah. If I'm not in a committed relationship and we're not moving towards marriage, I probably won't be sharing bills either, you guys. I mean, that's kind of, some people are doing that, but understand, again, most marriages break up because of finances. Because of finances. Between 20 and 40% of marriages break up over financial issues, you guys. That's a big number. Between 20 and 40%. So that just tells you if you're not starting out right in the beginning, that's how that other stuff happens, you guys.
Yes, it makes it hard. I mean, especially because you hear it all the time. People are hiding money. Yeah. You know, hey, the bonus that they got. Or whatever.
Man. Bonuses, overtime, all that kind of stuff. Like, you start keeping stuff like that away from your spouse. Y'all got other issues. I always say.
That opens doors for, you know, what else are you hiding?
Yeah, there's other issues going on that y'all need to take care of.
So
you know what I mean?
So it might not even really be the financial part that causes the issue. It's the secretive part.
Yeah, the secretive part.
Hiding.
And then it gets over to, you know, all the finances.
Well, yeah, because eventually, if you're not taking care of business, it's going to affect the finances.
Yeah. And like I said, in a relationship, there's one person that's probably better than the other on certain things, and you move accordingly to that. Finances, couples say, are the number one cause of their divorce. Over financial decisions, purchases, debt, and again, keeping things away from one another, you guys. And when you keep something away from your partner, that's because they don't feel like they can tell you. So to me, that means you have other issues, underlying issues, and it snowballs. Yeah. Into the financial aspect of your marriage.
Because it goes back to like what I said earlier too, you know, with because Landra does the finances. And she'll ask me, you know, even though she does the finances, she knows exactly how much money we got, what we have in the accounts, whatever, how much savings and everything. Yeah. So, but she'll still say, hey, you know, is it okay? I really want this. You know, you think it's okay?
Always.
And you know, and I tell her all the time, you know, it's fine with me. I don't care. All the bills are paid. We're good. You know, you're the one that knows all the bills are paid. Yeah. You know, and I'm more likely the one that that'll bring up, say, hey, you know, I'd really like to have this. You know, how are we looking? You know, can we do it? You know, without putting a dent in anything or hurting us?
Yeah. So, you know, and I think we are both fortunate because of this, you guys, that we don't have issues with our finances. And I'm very grateful for that. So if you are having issues with your finances, again, communication is key. Don't hide things. If you are the type of person where you want a separate account, make that known in the beginning, you guys. Yeah. That's what I say. Like, hey, I don't mind putting my money together, but can I have a separate account?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I think one of the worst things you could find out is like, you have another account?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me about it?
Yeah.
You know,
so
that makes you think, you know, are you sneaking our money into that account to, you know, or is there, what's going on?
So definitely make sure you, again, communicate. Let them know everything up front. Bills you have. If you owe them IRS some money, let them know up front, and then let them make the decision. Yeah. If they choose to move ahead with you, so be it. They can't argue about nothing.
But I mean, you're more likely going to get somebody to, if you lay something like that out there. You be vulnerable and let all that out there like that. They're going to be more likely to trust it, I think.
Because most women, I know this is how I am. Like, hey, if you got some student loan debt and all that kind of stuff, hey, we can work this out together. We put our money together, we can get it paid off faster. That's how I am. My thing is, when you're working as one, when I moved back to Texas, you guys, we moved into an apartment. Within a year, we moved in. Was it a year? Yeah. We moved into a house. We grew out of the house, and then we moved to another house, you guys. So again, we had goals. We laid them out on the table. We laid our finances out on the table, and we went to war.
And even then, before, I went into a management position, when I could work overtime and stuff, and we needed, because overtime was pretty easy to get back then. If we needed something else, I could base my hours on what we really needed. Yeah. Or hey, this month we need a little extra money, so we kick in a little overtime and get whatever we need. And
when we got together, you guys, I didn't have any debt. I had attorney fees from my divorce. I was still paying on attorney fees. because I went through a lengthy divorce. So I still had fees that I had to pay. And he knew that. I laid that on the table. So he was willing to help me. And honestly, I mean, we got it all paid off faster. So
yeah, but we were already working on all that stuff anyway before we even moved in together.
Yeah. But still, that's something that I didn't want to keep from him. I had to get this stuff because I was all about credit.
And I was the one that had debt. Together, I mean, we took off.
Finances.
We leveled up so much. Yeah. Just by us being together. And seeing eye to eye and trusting each other.
Finances that's my strength, you guys. I love finances. I love...
Until you don't.
Tell me about it. And I love building up people's credit and credit score because people don't even realize how easy it actually is. Once you get focused and dive in deep, you can build your credit up. He had debt when he came into our marriage. We literally tackled that, turned his credit around in 30 days?
Yeah, 30 days.
We've turned his credit around. So it's definitely possible. Depends on who you have on your team. So be a team player. If somebody has the strength in finances, let them do the finances. Build together off of that.
Yeah, that's where you got to be. Like I said, you got to be smart when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Having if one person is really good at the bills, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we know who does the bills better, who's better at spending money or not spending money. Like she said with the groceries. I'm better at getting the groceries because I'll stick to the budget.
I'm not.
She's not. But she's better with paying the bills. She has a system and it really works for us.
Yeah.
So you got to trust in that person.
Yeah.
If they're the one that is more, financially savvy.
Yeah.
You should go with that. I mean,
there's
no sense in adding stress.
It's not that if Jason wasn't with me, he'd be doing his own finances. We have more finances now, so he just prefers me. I like it.
And it's so much easier for one person to do it.
Yeah. Don't let finances ruin your relationship. No. Please don't let.
Or your marriage.
Your marriage. Yeah.
Because,
we're more teetering on the marriage side, you guys. We know there's couples who are together and they do finances together, but we are more talking about on the marriage side. I am not letting go of my finances to somebody I'm not married to.
I mean, if you're in a serious relationship and you're talking about getting married and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you've been together for a while.
Yeah.
And you have that trust. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with opening an account together.
Yeah.
To share. I mean,
because you might find out that ain't the person for you.
I mean, if you look at it in actuality, it's a good test run. I mean,
that's what
it's a good test, and see that you're sticking with it and you're trustworthy.
I'm stick beside him.
Yeah, I mean, it'll build trust.
Yeah.
It'll build trust. And that way, and plus it's easier. It helps.
It definitely works for us 100%.
It's always worked for
we
us.
can get up and go when we want to. We can buy what we want to. All those things, you guys. We don't have to wonder if we don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing for us because neither one of us we're not materialistic people.
Right.
So that's not an issue in our marriage. I'm not materialistic. I don't need the latest shoes, latest purses, all that kind of stuff. Give me some investment properties.
Yeah, we like to invest in us.
Yeah.
We try to invest in us.
Yeah. So, and with our time, quality time with our kids, with us, that's what matters to me. I could care less what car I'm driving as long as it's running and it's getting me from A to B.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
I mean, we worry about our health. We worry about all the bills getting paid.
Yeah.
And then having the money to do what we want to do with it. We want our money to go to whatever we want it to go to, not just throwing it away.
Yeah.
And not getting anything out of it.
Yeah. Do not let finances ruin your relationship. Find somebody else to do it.
Let somebody else do it.
Let somebody else do it. We appreciate you guys. We just wanted to get on here and just give you guys some tips, help you understand how we do our finances. Maybe you picked up something from what we said to help you in your relationship. But again, if you can't let everything go, if you are moving towards marriage, and I do mean not talking about marriage and it take y'all 5-10 years to get married. I mean, really at that stage where you're about to go that route. Definitely sit down, talk about it, talk about everything. Don't let your partner be surprised by something after the fact.
Lay it all out.
Then let them decide if they choose to move forward with you.
Yeah, because if you are thinking about wanting to get married and you really want to be with that person, putting that kind of trust out there, showing that you're going, hey, look, I trust you with all my finances.
You know, it makes them feel more comfortable with you. When we got married, we chose not to have some big giant wedding. We didn't want to go into debt, paying for other people to eat. That's how I look at it. And it's not for everybody. So we chose not to do that. We chose to go on a vacation.
Well, we'd both been married before.
Yeah.
So
and we chose to buy a house.
Yeah. Again, investing in ourselves.
Yeah, investing in ourselves, you know, and not having a bill after that day and still paying on our marriage.
And still trying
for other people to have
trying to figure out how to get a house.
Yeah.
And how to get a down payment for a house or whatever.
So again, before we got into this, we talked about it, we laid everything out on the table, and we went from there, you guys.
If you can communicate, you can set your goals.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know you love that person.
Yeah. Okay.
And we haven't stopped thriving since.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys learned something, picked up something from what we just said. If you want to email us, we're getting a lot of questions from you guys and we appreciate it. If you want to email us, of course, it's mixedandmarriedpodcast@gmail.com. Of course, if you want to be anonymous, just put anonymous on there. Yeah. Not a big deal. And honestly, we have not even said anybody's name thus far. So we pretty much make everybody anonymous as it is. But if you have questions for us, definitely email us. Type something in the comments, you guys. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Or if this was your topic, say, hey, here's my topic. Thanks for covering it.
Yeah, was this a good topic for you guys?
Or tell us if we helped out.
Yeah, we are always open to opinions. This is what works for us.
Yep.
Everybody is different. So we appreciate you guys. We will see you on the next podcast. Bye, you guys.
Yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. The reason that you